right, I want to take just a minute just to show you how to use Google Slides in order to create a choose your own adventure story, a nice activity for your students. The first thing you're going to want to do is to title your story, whatever it is. As students, pick a title, of course, that relates to the topic at hand, that speaks to, that represents the story as a whole. And then you're going to want to add a few slides. One of the things I do like to do is kind of just to eliminate the clutter on your slides, is to have just one text box that will house the content of your story. So something like, okay, and you're giving the player, the reader of this storyline, a selection, a choice. You'll also want to make a few more slides. And maybe you have these two choices, right? Maybe you have you chose to go left, and then your story would continue. Maybe over here it's you chose to go right. And your story would continue. So now, how do we connect to each of these slides? And this is where I like to use shapes, and these shapes will serve as buttons, as clickable items in these slides. So one of the things that I do suggest is to have one of these buttons on the very first slide as a title slide, just to kind of set the standard for how the activity will work. So this way the player knows that he needs to click on these items in order to progress through the game. And then maybe here you switch it up a little bit. Maybe we have two different items, two clickable shapes. Each one will take the learner, the reader, player of this game to a different slide. And so if you recall, our third and fourth slides both were left and right options. So which way should I go? Maybe one option is left, and then maybe the other option is right. All right, so let's click and connect all of these together. Anything that's on your slide, either it be a text box, whether it be this shape here, can be linked to other areas. It can be linked to other websites. It can be linked to other resources. It can also be linked to other slides in this very presentation. And so we wanted this particular button to send us to slide 2, because it's the very first slide of the game. This is the title slide, and we want it to go to slide 2. So we've linked it to slide 2. We also then want to individually link these buttons to their respective slide. And so if you remember, left was our slide number 3. So we need to get to slide 3. Control Alt minus and Control Alt plus will send your slide further back so that you can see these menus, at least in my case. So we're sending the left button to 3, and we're going to send the right button to slide 4. Okay, and then if we go back to the beginning and then we present Clicking here to begin will take us to slide 2. Clicking left will take us to slide 3. And then clicking right will take us to slide 4. So what becomes tricky is when you start to really dive further into the story and having to link the correct slides to the right options. That's where the fun kind of begins. There's a couple different ways you can complete this activity. One of the things that you could do is you could have, a start over button, right? If you get down to a certain point, you've gone down the wrong road according to the author, according to the creator. Maybe he sends you back to the beginning, right? Maybe going down the right path. In this case, is the wrong path. Maybe it's there's some obstacle that's going to prevent you from moving on, and so there's a spot. Oh, you chose to go right. Unfortunately, you're not able to continue the journey. Click here to start again, and you go back to the beginning, or you just go off on a tangent. These two paths will take you to an unending storyline. Right, it'll continue on its own unique path, and that's where the uniqueness of this activity can come in. That's where the creativity of both you and your students should be showcased. And again, Google Slides is a really great way to make that happen.